A very warm welcome to the channel. My name is James. This is the James N. Cooper Show. A very warm welcome. Sunday, the 28th of November, 2023. I got the year right this time, unlike yesterday. And this is a visitor's guide to Siem Reap, Cambodia, Southeast Asia. Now, the best time, first of all, to go to this area of the world is November, December, January, and February. It's not baking hot during the day, and in the evening it can go down to about 24 degrees, sometimes 20, sometimes even colder, but that's going to be once in a blue moon. Now, you're going to arrive at the brand new, sparkling and very shiny new airport, literally opened October 16. When you arrive there, you may need a visa, or you may get a visa online. If you need a visa, then go to the visa section. Maybe it'll take you 10-15 minutes, go through immigration, pick up your bag, and go outside where, if you don't have any transportation, you will basically need, I think there's like 2 or 3 choices. One, you can take a bus, and that will take you about an hour 10 minutes to get into the city center. I think it's like $8 or $9. I am going to make the videos and the pictures after this, so there. You can take a taxi, which will cost you a rip-off of $35. They would say, people call it the Chinese mafia taxi scam. Or you can, if there's a tuk-tuk or a passap available, these are the free-wheeled motor scooters that you've seen on videos in Sri Lanka and India, for example, or a motorbike with a chariot on the back. They can cost anywhere between 15 to 25, and I do believe there's some shuttle buses, and each way would cost you, maybe $12.50. Don't quote me on that. You'd have to go and Google it and do a little bit of research, or check the hotel, and maybe they can help you as well. But the hotel is going to charge you $25. It's quite a long distance away compared to the old airport, but that's done. When it's done and dusted, you would take a journey. You go through some of the beautiful Cambodian countryside. You would hit Highway 6, and then you get into the city center. Now, where to stay? If you haven't booked it, well, if you got money, you can stay in the Hyatt Hotel. It costs around about $200 a night. Or you can get a really nice boutique hotel. There's hundreds to choose from 20, let's say 20, even less than that, 10 to 20 to $30, which I would say is more acceptable. But with that, make sure you stay close to the city center. It's not a big city center, but if you're close to an area called Pump Street, then everything is there for you at nighttime, which we'll get to a little bit later. Obviously, the main reason you come here is to go and visit the Angkor Wat, which is the really old city here, and you can see thousands of temples. You can get, I would recommend getting a 3-day pass. You can get a 7-day pass, but a 3-day pass I think now is like $72. That will let you into not just that site, but many other sites as well. And it doesn't have to be 3 consecutive days. It means that you can do it on 1 day, take a break, and do it another day, and take another break, or do something else, and then you can do it on the 6th day, for example. Or you can go up to a 7-day pass, depending on your length of stay. But that's the main reason you're here. It's really tiring, and if it's a hot day, boy, is it hot. And you can go and be Angelina Jolie and be Tomb Raider, and you can see where some of the film was shot there way back in the 1990s, I do believe. That's the main thing, and do bring lots of water. Now, nighttime, you do have an area which I mentioned earlier called Pump Street, and there you can find some restaurants, and you can have some Cambodian dishes, which are actually quite expensive, or you can have some Western ones like hamburgers, steak, hot pot, stew, casseroles. But for 2 people, with maybe a couple of drinks, let's say 1 beer, cocktails would be higher. You're talking about $20 to $25 per for 2 people, which is actually reasonably good. Or you can venture in and get some street food, which is a lot cheaper, all in that same kind of area. which is a bargain, or you can just go to a restaurant a little bit outside of that area and you can get some really nice Cambodian food, or even a hamburger and chips for, let's say, $2.50. Do you need any vaccinations when you go here? And the answer is no. I've been here for 8 years, and there are many pharmacies around if you do get an upset stomach, for example. One, I would say you can, UCare. There's so many pharmacies here, and they would speak English, so you can tell them problem. You can avoid the doctor basically and say, I've got a funny tummy, and then they will give you some comfort pills, or I got diarrhea, then they can give you some pills to stop the diarrhea. Don't drink the water from the tap. Now, some people say it's okay. Buy bottled water. It's not very expensive. You can buy like this size, what's that, 1.5 liters for, you could say like, let's say, just say 50 cents, 75 cents, and you would need to drink quite a lot, maybe 2 bottles of those a day, because it is very hot. And if you come to Asia for the first time, you may have been in Bangkok, or let's say in Ho Chi Minh, which they do have flights for, first of all, then you'll be used to the climate, but that 2 bottles of water is essential. Most rooms will have air conditioning like this up here, and depending on how you are. I like mine round about 25 degrees if you've never used air conditioning. There are no direct flights from Europe yet, but there are flights from Singapore, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, I do believe. Bangkok has the most flights. You can have Hanoi, and I think there's Ho Chi Minh City as well. I think there's 1 or 2, but they're the main ones, and they're just like short haul flights. So from Bangkok to here, for example, anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour, depending possibly on the wind. First time to Asia, first time to Siem Reap, Cambodia, the transportation. Now, once you're in the city centre, there aren't any buses, there's no metro system here, but you can take the tuk-tuks and you can take the pasaps. Pasaps in general are usually cheaper, but they would obviously know that you're a overseas guest or a visitor or foreigner, and they may try to scam you, basically. So around the city centre, you would say anything between $1 and $2. Back to the airport, you can get a pasap. I can get it for $15. Just ask, and then you can exchange addresses. They know where they're staying in the hotel, so when you leave here, you're going to go to the airport. Most people do, or take the bus. There's no train, or you can take the bus back to Bangkok. You can take the bus all the way to Ho Chi Minh City as well, but that's a long old journey. And if you like the adventure, won't go for it. If you like the comfort like me, hey, just take the plane. They are, you would say, for Southeast Asia, quite expensive, especially some airlines like Bangkok Airlines. You can get some other ones like Air Asia. Be careful with them because they constantly try to upsell. Thai Smile is actually quite good. It's part of Thai Airways, and they offer prices starting about $100 each, including luggage. Air Asia, you have all the add-ons, and it may be a little bit cheaper, but it's not going to go to the big airport in Bangkok. It's going to go to the old airport called Dong Mueang, which is okay. But if your connecting flight is in the other airport, then you can get a free transfer there, but what's the convenience with all your luggage and your suitcases? Things to buy here, well, you can get the usual tourist tack. You can get some t-shirts saying Siem Reap, for example, there. You can get some fridge magnets. You can get some trousers with lots of elephants in there. It's the usual kind of stuff that you would find the same in Bangkok, but of course you want a souvenir of something saying Cambodia there as well. It's going to be put on your mantelpiece at home or wherever for you to say you have actually been there. Internet, you can get a SIM card at the airport. These, I think it would be like $5, for example. It gives you 8 GB of gigabytes. You'd need to hand over your passport for that. You can rent motorbikes here. There's lots of websites for that one. Under 125cc, basically, you would hand in your passport, and any damage to it, you would have to pay that back. So do be careful with that one. I have made a video of that before, so I highly recommend you watch the videos about Siem Reap afterwards, and it's going to tell you all about it. It's a really safe place. I've never really had any problem here at night time, even 2 o'clock in the morning when I was first here, getting very, very drunk and enjoying being a virgin here, so to speak, just don't know, and just going out and enjoying. But I've never had any problem. You may get a tuk-tuk driver coming up to you and go, hey, you want a massage? Hey, you want something to smoke? You know what I mean? Just say, no, thank you. Be polite, and eventually they will go away. They're actually a lot more politer than some other places, like in India, until they will just follow you until they're annoying. This has happened once with some street kids here, but it doesn't happen, you could say, so often. And you do, in the city centre, do have the tourist police. So if there's any problem, find out that tourist police number. They will speak English and they can deal with the situation. So don't get paralytically drunk, and you can enjoy the nightlife and the excitement there. Other things to do? Hold on. There is a crocodile farm out of town. If you want to shoot an AK-47, go ahead, and just a target. Don't do the offer when they say, do you want to shoot a buffalo? Just say no to that. It's so wrong with that. Just do some targets. I've never done it. It's not my sort of thing. You can rent these four-wheel motorbikes and go on one kind of adventure. Again, there are some cycling tours. There's so many things that you can do. Most of the travel agents are incredibly honest, especially along the high street, and you can book a tour and they will know everything about it. If you're not too sure, go to another travel agent. If it's the same price, bam. In your hotel, there's possibly going to be the usual travel agent kiosk there, but they will charge you higher because their rent is higher, hoping to grab your attention. And on the way back to the airport, I seem to be talking about the airport a lot, the hotel will offer you the tuk-tuk for about 25 bucks. You can get it cheaper. In the airport, the last time I was there was at the beginning of November, and there was no Burger King. There was very few options to eat. But if you are a smoker, never fear. There's lots of places where you can smoke outside and view the airplanes coming in. Not many at the moment. They reckon by 2040, they will have like 12 million visitors per year to this city, whereas in Thailand itself, there are about 25 million per year at the moment, but they expect it to be 40. You can go down to the capital, Phnom Penh. You can fly, you can take the bus if you want to see a bit of the countryside. And there in Phnom Penh is a little bit more dangerous, so do be careful. Taxi drivers and tuk-tuk drivers are there, and some will scam you, but you would go and see the killing fields, and you would also go and see the place is a hospital or a school where some horrible things happened years ago. I think you know what I'm talking about. And then you can hop on an aeroplane there in Phnom Penh. There's a lot more choices where there's a lot more choices of the airlines there in Phnom Penh rather than here. So another option could be you could fly to Phnom Penh, you could spend 2 or 3 days seeing the highlights there, having a walk along the riverside, for example, and then off you hop on a bus or a aeroplane, which will cost you 60, 70 bucks. It takes 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes to come here, but then be aware of the very expensive fees to get into the city centre. If I was young, I would take the bus ride, which would be actually far more exciting. They will stop every 2 hours, so you can get some snacks, or maybe they offer food. There's lots of different services with the buses there. You can get VIP buses at night time. So if you're a backpacker, hey, you're saving one night's accommodation there. The list goes on. I hope you found that helpful, especially for the first-time travelers who are coming to this beautiful city. You will really enjoy it. And again, the highlight or the best season to go to is right now. Otherwise, it's going to be summer where it's blisteringly hot. The other time is low season. It does rain, but not much, you could say. And it may rain for 2 or 3 hours, then it will stop. In this city, not much flooding. I live in a non-flood area. I've been in this house for over 2 years, no real problem. But there are some areas in Siem which floods. Doesn't really concern you so much. In the city centre, obviously it would rain, but it won't flood that much because there's all brand new roads from about 2 years ago. Let's leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Hope it was useful. Don't forget that thumbs up, and bye-bye for now. Cheers.